So today our lesson is going to be on addition and subtraction of negative integers. So our learning goals today are that by the end of the lesson you should be able to carry out addition and subtraction operations using both positive and negative integers. So just a bit of a reminder about negative numbers. So negative integers, negative numbers are any number that's less than 0. So we've got 0 here, and you can see anything on this side of 0 is a negative number. So all these negative numbers are less than 0. So these numbers less than 0, our positive numbers are more than 0. Now, just to try this out, we're going to do a little bit of a practice. So we're going to use our less than sign or our greater than sign to make these statements true here on the side. So 5, is 5 less than or greater than 3? Well, it's pretty easy. We've got 5 here, 3 down here. We know that 5 is greater than 3, so we'll put our greater than symbol in there. Now the next one we've got is 0. Is 0 less than or greater than 11? Again, a bit of an easy one. We know that 0 is less than 11. Now, this is where it starts to get a little bit tricky because we've got some negative numbers. So we've got 2 and negative 6. So if we look at our our number line over here, we've got 2 and we've got negative 6. So 6 is normally greater than 2, but because it's negative 6, we've got to remember that our negative numbers are less than 0. So this means that negative 6 is actually less than 2. So 2 is greater than negative 6. The next one we've got is negative 8 and 0. So negative 8 way down here, 0 is here on our number line. We know that negative numbers are less than 0. So negative 8 is less than 0. Now the next one we've got two negative numbers. We've got negative 1, which is here, and negative 4, which is there. So negative 1 is actually closer to 0, so it's not as far away, whereas negative 4 is all the way down here, which actually means that negative 4 is less than negative 1. Or another way of saying that is negative 1 is greater than negative 4. So negative 1 is greater than negative 4. And the last one is negative 9 way down here on our number line, and 9 way up here. So even though 9 and 9 make us think that they're going to be the same, remember our negative numbers are less than 0. So negative 9 is less than positive 9. Less than. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so now we're going to do some adding and subtracting of positive integers. And when we add and subtract positive integers, so remember positive integers are just positive whole numbers, our answer can be a positive or a negative number. So look at our number of examples here. The first one is 2 plus 3. So we find 2 on our number line, which is here, and we're going to add 3. So 1, 2, 3, it gets to our answer of 5. So 2 plus 3 is 5. Our next one, we've got negative 5 plus 3. So negative 5 down here on our number line, and we're going to add 3. So 1, 2, 3, and it leaves us with an answer of negative 2. So you can see there that when we're adding, we're always moving to the right on our number line. So even if we're starting with a negative number, when we add that positive integer, we're moving to the right. So nothing new there. I'm sure you probably all know how to do that. And now we'll look at some takeaway. So some subtraction, sorry. So here we've got 8 and we're going to subtract 2. So when we're subtracting, we're moving to the left of the number line. So we've got 8, subtract 2 is going to leave us with 6 as our answer. Our next one, we've got 9, subtract 12. I'm going to change colour again just so it's a bit obvious. So 9 on a number lines here, we're doing subtraction, so again we're moving to the left and we're going to subtract 12. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that leaves us with our answer there of negative 3. So you can see that even though we're adding and subtracting positive integers, our answers can be both positive or negative. And the other thing I want you to keep in mind there is when we were adding or doing our addition operation, we're moving to the right on our number line, and when we're doing our subtraction operation, we're moving to the left on the number line. So, adding negative numbers. This is where people can get a little bit confused. So if you're ever in a situation you kind of get a little bit lost with this, make sure you draw up a number line. I think that's always really helpful to refer back to. So when you add a negative number, it's actually the same as subtracting its opposite. So I know that's a little bit confusing, but we'll work through it a bit now. So our first example there, we have 2 plus -3. Now we know when we do addition, we're normally moving to the right on our number line, but when we add a negative, it's kind of the same as subtracting its opposite. So we're actually adding a negative, so we actually move to the left. So it's the same as doing the take. Sorry, the same as doing the subtraction. So an easy way for you to do it is to quickly rewrite this. So instead of 2 plus -3, you can just change it to 2 take 3. And then we can do that on our number line. So 2 take away 3, 1, 2, 3 is going to leave us with -1. Our next one, 7 plus -4. Now adding a negative number is the same as subtracting its opposite. And the opposite of -4 is +4. So it's the same as taking +4. So 7 take 4. And we can do that on number line as well. 7 take 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 will leave us with an answer of 3. And our last one, -1 plus -6. So quickly rewrite that. It's the same as subtracting its opposite. So it's the same as doing -1 take 6. So -1 here on our number line, take away 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that will leave us with -7. Okay, now the next one is subtracting negative numbers, and again it's like doing the opposite. So subtracting a negative number is the same as adding its opposite. So our first example is 3 subtract -7, and the easiest way to do that is to redo it as kind of like an addition. So 3 plus 7. So anytime you take a negative, it's actually the same as adding a positive. So 3 plus 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 equals +10. Next one, 5 subtract -4. Again, it's the same as adding its opposite. So it's the same as doing 5 plus 4. And 5 plus 4, we can use our number line if we need to, give us an answer of 9. And same with subtraction, same with using negative numbers. So -2 subtract -2 is the same as doing -2 plus 2. So find -2 on our number line, and we're going to add 2, 1, 2, and it'll leave us with 0. And our last one, -8 subtract -2 is the same as doing -8 plus 2. So if we find -8 on our number line and we add 2, 1, 2, it'll leave us with -6. So hopefully that makes sense. So normally, as we know, when we do subtraction, we're moving to the left, but when we subtract negative numbers, it's actually the opposite. So it's the same as kind of doing addition. Okay, so that's all we've got on today's lesson of adding and subtracting directed integers. So if you have any questions, please make sure you ask me in class, and you get started on the workbook exercises now, and I'll see you in class.